Okay, good people of the earth. I'm testing some new sound setup, and let me tell you a little bit about my first impressions on Tenere 700.
Subscribe.
Cactus Motors.
Okay guys, welcome back. Let me tell you about my first impression about Yamaha Tenere 700 motorcycle. So let me start from the very beginning. I have been already on the market for adventure bike when the first teaser and advertising from Yamaha Tenere come out about E7, and it was mind-blowing. I liked the look very much, and later it was not any surprises that some Italian designers put a hand on this bike. The design I like very much, and it is still a top 3 bikes in terms of looks and how beautiful they are for my personal taste. It look at like aftermarket Dakar rally bike right off the box. And as now turn 2023, we see that this design impacted quite a lot of bikes which are coming out year by year on the market. So the first impression was very good, and the statistical data about the engine, the chassis, everything was very fine. Though at that time I was riding sport bikes, and the engine capacity of 700 cubic inches and the just over 70 horsepower was not impressive. Also, the height of the seat seemed to me very high, 87, 88 millimeters. Oh my god. I'm a quite small guy, medium from the small side, 5.9 with 32 inseam, lucky for me. I felt that it may be too much for me, so it made these few years while we waited for the actual bike on the dealership quite frustrating. So in 2019-2020, when the bike came out, I was not able to test ride it because dealership was selling those few bikes which were available for them, and I can check it on the dealer only. And when I jumped on it from my Ducati Monster, it felt quite big bike and very tall. I was in my business suit with my business shoes on, and I just could reach the ground with my front fingers. It made me worry a lot. Also, since I could not ride the bike at the moment, the horsepower also made me worrying and wondering about the competition, and I was testing one bike after another found a company in my country which is doing the tours on the Tenere 700 bikes. They have several rally bikes, and yeah, you can see the link below about this company. I can recommend this company. The owner is a Holland guy. The professional racer in the past, and he can do for you any level tour, from the hard stuff, technical terrain, to the just adventurous gravel raids, and it will be fun in both cases, since he knows surroundings very well and is a very nice guy by himself, so I just recommend. So I called them, no problem, they made me a personal tour, and I jumped on the bike right away. It felt high. They made me softer suspension so I can reach the ground, and I tiptoed it, but both feet, so it was not too intimidating for me. And yeah, and we moved out. So my first impression was that bike was very light on the road, very balanced. The seat position was very good. I remind you, I am 5.9, and I felt on this bike rated just suited for me, as custom built bike for me. The handlebars was in the right place. I was not too stretched, I was not too cramped. Standing position was very comfortable. I was not cramped. The foot pegs was right perfect. The angle of the feet feels just right about how it would be. The seat was not soft, not hard. For my narrow butt was very well. For very tall guys, I guess it may felt very cramped, but I discussed with Rick, who is the owner of the company, and he is a very tall and very big guy, and he said that for him it's perfect. So I don't know how Yamaha did it, but seems they solved the ergonomics pretty well. So all the driver space is very simple. There was no surprises. I felt right at home. In my 20 years of motorcycle driving history, I was driving mainly Japanese bikes, so for me it was no any surprises. The biggest surprise was the engine.
This CP2 engine, and this CP2 engine is the gem of engines, and at this point it is at this point it is most reliable engine in the market. Long term, short term, new bike under warranty, or a couple of years or many miles, we have the history now over 10 years on this engine, and this engine is a bulletproof engine, no problems whatsoever. And besides bulletproofness, because for example Harley Davidson Forster old engines, 800, 1200 are also bulletproof engines, but what they deliver, this engine deliver over 70 horsepower, and it delivers very linear power. And the setup of this engine, I'm not sure how it drives on MT-07, from which the history of the engine comes, but on Tenere the setup is that you can drive on any gear, on 6th gear, on 4th gear. You can drive basically like with automatic transmission. It picks up everything without turning off the bike, but and with quite little vibration. Especially if you're moving, stopping, moving again, the gear 2, 3, 4 is okay. At 6 it can a little bit do some vibration, not so happy, but he will do it. What other engine can do it? So the engine is the gem. It's MT-07 was a popular motorcycle. T7 is very popular motorcycle. So even if you will get a fault or damage your engine or something happens, you can get this engine pretty cheap and pretty easy on the second-hand market, and this gives you confidence with this bike.
Despite the 72 horsepower, the engine felt right away the fun, pulling fast, and I tested on road, on gravel road, on different terrains, and it felt at home. I did not feel any need for electronic help. The power was very linear. It was not intimidating like Ducati or KTM when you reach some rev, when the bike jumps out from you, wants to pull your head or wants to pull your hands away. Nothing like that. Very, very predictable and fun. Quick and fast, right away. And despite of lack of horsepower, I was very surprised. I did not feel that this bike lacks any power. And now I have read many reviews from the guys that suspension lacked something, so I paid attention a lot into the suspension. But for my weight, at that point I was around 75-80 kilograms, and suspension felt good. I did not have any gripes. My Ducati's Monster suspension was very hard, and this felt very soft, and suspension on gravel felt right at home, so I had no any comments on that. It was perfect. The tire setup was already some off-road tires and with good grip, so no comments on that. After I bought my own Tenere with Pirelli tires, the impression from these tires was okay. It was good tire. Just when I get into wetty grass, wetty mud situation, those tires felt right like you're riding on the ice, very slippery, and I almost dropped my bike on the very small mud place, so I changed the tires right away. The first impression was very good. The height of the bike was manageable for me. I could place bike. And basically, after the testing of the bike, my first impression was that I was sold for it. I liked it very much. So, in any case, if you are considering few bikes, my first recommendation is you test them, you drive them before you buy. But Tenere 700 is exceptional bike right off the box, and its setup is very simple, and the pricing is very competitive, and most of the things that you want you can add later on. So the main thing is, and the main lesson from my testing is, don't judge the bike by the paper. What you see on the paper not necessarily reflects the bike itself. So, safe riding, guys, and wish you our best luck. See you on other videos.
Don't forget to click a like.
Cactus Motors.